Hello. 120. Oh. What is James doing with you? Too big.
Even think about it.
I'm just gonna take a ride down to Robichaux's construction site.
You're right, this one.
No.
The story opens during Chinese New Year in a crowded Chinatown street. Firecrackers pop, music plays, and people move through the celebration. In the middle of all this, a tense private detective named Walter Hale walks through the crowd. He looks nervous and keeps checking his surroundings. He stops at a mailbox, slips a small package inside, and finally lets out a quiet breath of relief. A moment later, he casually steals a jacket from a nearby stand, puts it on, and heads toward the street. Before he can get far, a speeding van suddenly swerves and slams into him. The vehicle doesn't stop and disappears down the road, leaving Walter fatally injured. Elsewhere, Walter's son James Hale is leading a tough Navy training session with his team. In the middle of drills, he gets news about his father. He immediately heads to the morgue, where he's told Walter died in a hit-and-run. James lives in Hawaii and returns home to his wife Isla and their two kids, Kai and Lonnie. He tells Isla about Walter's death in a calm, distant way, since he hadn't spoken to his father in years. Isla offers sympathy and suggests he call his stepbrother, Johnny. James says Johnny never answers and reminds her they never really had a relationship with Walter anyway. At the same time, Johnny Hale, who used to be a cop, is riding his bike home. When he arrives, he finds his girlfriend Valentina packing her things. She's leaving him. It's her birthday, and he completely forgot. She says he never puts her first and walks out despite his attempts to stop her. Later that night, Johnny drinks alone at home. Ela calls him to tell him Walter has died and gives him the funeral date. Johnny says he has no interest in going. When he is in the washroom, two men approach Johnny from behind with a dagger. They show Yakuza tattoos and demand a package Walter sent. Johnny has no idea what they mean. Already in a bad mood, he attacks them. A brutal fight breaks out. He beats both men badly, using one as a shield when a third man fires a gun. Johnny takes the gunman down too. During the fight, one attacker drops a photo of Johnny's mother. Inside it is a hidden picture of Walter. This hits Johnny hard. The next day is Walter's funeral. James, his sister Hanani, and others attend. James notices members of both the Yakuza and a local syndicate at the funeral, which feels strange. Hanani asks about Johnny, assuming he won't come. But Johnny shows up unexpectedly. He meets James's kids, and the reunion between the brothers is tense and full of sarcastic comments. After the ceremony, Walter's ashes are taken away. At James's house afterward, the brothers' old resentment comes up. Walter cheated on James's mother and had Johnny, which broke their family apart. During lunch, the city governor, Peter Mayhew, who is close to the family, joins them. He says it's good to see the brothers together. Johnny suddenly says he didn't come for the funeral, but to find out who killed Walter. The room goes silent. He explains that men tried to kill him the night before, looking for a package from Walter. He also says he believes his mother's death years ago wasn't an accident either. James takes him outside and angrily says it was just a hit and run, and Johnny always brings trouble. Johnny storms off. Later, Johnny runs into an old friend named Okai at a bar. Okai works for the syndicate and says their boss, Mr. K, wants to see Johnny. He refuses, but his drink is drugged and he passes out. He wakes up tied up in front of Mr. K, who reminds him that Johnny has killed many of their men over the years because he blamed them for his mother's death. Mr. K denies responsibility, but warns him to leave Hawaii within 7 days. They brand him as a warning and dump him by the sea. James meets Detective Reiner to ask about Walter's accident. Reiner says the case is strange. No witnesses, no good forensics, and even the security cameras nearby weren't working. He suggests James not dig deeper. James replies that he is the bear they're warning about. He collects Walter's belongings, which include a flash drive and a paper full of notes. Meanwhile, Johnny sneaks into Walter's small apartment. He finds a gun, then hears someone else inside. A young man is searching through Walter's things. Johnny chases and captures him. The man, Pika, says Walter was like a father to him and that he worked as Walter's hacker. The last job Walter gave him was to get work at a catering company called Nia Loa. Johnny tells Pika he works for him now. James visits the spot where Walter was hit and finds a camera at a nearby adult shop. He tries to bribe the staff for footage, and when they refuse, he uses force to get it. Back at the apartment, Johnny finds a surfboard. Pika says Walter had a bad knee and didn't surf. Inside the board, Johnny finds blueprints with a government seal. Hanani later helps him check them in a database and finds they show demolition plans for homes and schools. James arrives with the accident footage. They watch it together and see the van clearly hit Walter on purpose. The vehicle has no license plate. Johnny says they need info on Blue Hands and the catering company Pico works for. While driving and arguing, another car rams them. Gunmen attack. A high-speed gunfight follows. James and Johnny barely survive by blowing up the attackers' vehicles. Detective Renner later scolds them for the chaos and reveals Johnny is no longer a cop. He was suspended. Hanani discovers the blueprints are for a casino project funded by a businessman named Marcus Robichaux. Gambling is illegal there, so this is suspicious. The brothers visit the coastal village where the casino would be built, displacing a centuries-old community. Pika calls with news. Police pulled a blue van from the ocean with a body inside. It's the hit-and-run vehicle. One registered blue van belongs to Hayashi Imports, linked to the Yakuza. They sneak into Robichaux's fundraiser party disguised as catering staff. Johnny flirts with a woman who turns out to be Monica Robichaux, Marcus's wife. She says she hired Walter to investigate her husband, suspecting infidelity. James runs into a Yakuza member named Nakamura, who subtly threatens him. Robichaux's guards capture the brothers and bring him to him. He claims he paid Walter and seems surprised to hear he's dead. Johnny accuses him of murder. They leave with more suspicion. The next morning, Monica is found dead after falling from a building. Furious, Johnny attacks Robichaux's mansion, but is captured. Governor Mayhaw arranges his release, saying Johnny shouldn't take justice into his own hands. Outside the station, the brothers finally explode at each other in a fistfight in the rain. Johnny accuses James of abandoning him when their mother was dying. James says he sent Johnny away to protect him from gang threats. They finally understand each other, and James apologizes. Valentina later finds a package at Johnny's place, the one Walter mailed. Inside is a flash drive. She brings it to Hawaii. With Pika's help, they unlock it and find records of $12 million yearly payments to Governor Mayhaw from Robichaux. It's bribery to legalize gambling with Yakuza protection. A helicopter and gunmen attack them on the road, but they escape after a long chase and shootout. They realize the blue van driver gave Walter the flash drive. Mayhaw learns this and has the driver tortured, which leads to Walter being killed. When the brothers get home, Hila is missing. Their kids are hiding. Robichaux sends a video showing Hila and Hanani captured. He demands the drive. The brothers arm themselves heavily and assault Robichaux's mansion at night. James battles multiple gunmen while Johnny hunts Robichaux. They free Hila and Hanani but continue to finish the fight. James faces Nakamura in a sword fight and kills him. Robichaux tries to escape, but ends up fighting Johnny on a burning dock. An explosion sends Johnny into the water, and James rescues him. The next morning, police arrest Governor Mayhew for corruption. Later, the family gathers on the beach. Johnny holds a small memorial for his mother. Mr. K approaches and says the syndicate wasn't responsible for her death. He gives Johnny a paper with the real killer's name and leaves. Johnny shows James, who says he'll support him no matter what. Johnny drops the paper into a fire, choosing to stay with his family instead. And with that, friends, this story comes to an end. Tell us in the comments how you liked the explanation. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.